Imagine this: you're sitting beside a loved one who's been with you through every chapter of your life, and suddenly, you notice subtle changes that you can't ignore. The kind of changes that make you wonder, are they okay? Are they preparing to say goodbye? It's a terrifying thought, but understanding these signs could help you support them in ways you never imagined. In this video, we're diving into 5 subtle yet powerful signs that could mean your loved one is in their final year of life. If you've ever found yourself questioning what's really going on with someone you love, or if you're simply looking for answers to make these challenging moments more manageable, you need to watch this entire video. Stay with us, because this may be one of the most important things you'll ever learn. In life, we often shy away from discussions about aging and death, topics that bring discomfort and fear. It's natural to want to shield ourselves and our loved ones from the harsh realities of life's inevitable end. But, in truth, understanding the subtle signs that someone we care about may be in their final year of life can help us not only prepare emotionally but also give us the opportunity to provide them with the love and care they deserve during their final days. Aging doesn't always look the same for everyone, and the signs that someone is nearing the end of their life can be incredibly subtle, often mistaken for something less serious, or even completely overlooked. So, in today's video, we'll take a closer look at some of the gentle, yet meaningful signs that might suggest a loved one is in their final year of life. We'll be going over 5 such signs, starting with 2 today's signs that can sometimes be challenging to notice but are important to understand. This way, you can offer your loved one the support they need while also preparing yourself emotionally for what lies ahead. Let's begin with 2 of the most commonly overlooked signs: significant weight loss and extreme fatigue and weakness. The first sign we'll explore today is significant weight loss. When a person begins to lose weight dramatically, it can sometimes be attributed to factors like diet changes or a slowed metabolism, especially as we get older. However, significant and unexplained weight loss can often signal that the body is no longer functioning as it once did. This could be a sign that the body is using up its energy reserves, perhaps due to a number of underlying conditions. In older adults, this can often be a sign of something more serious, such as cancer, chronic illness, or even the body starting to prepare for the final stages of life. It's easy to dismiss this as something minor, perhaps they're just not eating as much, or they've lost their appetite. But the truth is, unexplained weight loss, especially when it's consistent over time, could point to a much deeper issue. When you notice that your loved one is eating less than usual, or that their clothes are starting to hang more loosely on their body, it's important to take note. This could be an indication that their body is beginning to lose the ability to maintain the weight it once had. It's also common for older adults in their final year of life to experience what's called cachexia, a condition where the body loses muscle and fat at an accelerated rate, even with adequate food intake. Cachexia is often seen in individuals with terminal illnesses, and it can contribute significantly to the rapid loss of body weight. While it can be hard to watch someone you care about lose weight, it's important to approach this with understanding and compassion, offering them food when they're willing, but also knowing that their body may be preparing for what's to come. The second sign we'll look at today is extreme fatigue and weakness. Fatigue and weakness are some of the most common symptoms of aging, but when they become particularly severe and persistent, it can be a sign that a person's body is winding down. People in their final year of life often experience a significant drop in energy levels. It can be heartbreaking to watch someone who once had so much vitality struggle to do even the simplest tasks, but this kind of extreme fatigue is often a part of the natural progression toward the end of life. If you notice that your loved one has started to sleep more than usual, or that they can barely get out of bed, it's likely a sign that their body is struggling to maintain energy. This can be especially noticeable if they have difficulty completing everyday activities, like walking around the house or even eating. They might express feeling drained after something that would have once seemed easy, like a short walk or a conversation. Extreme weakness is also a sign that the body's systems are becoming less efficient, and the muscles are losing strength. For caregivers, this can be a particularly difficult sign to witness, especially when it feels as if your loved one is retreating from the world. However, it's important to remember that this fatigue is often not something they can control, and it's the body's natural way of conserving energy in preparation for the end. This kind of fatigue may also lead to an increased need for rest, so it's vital to respect their need for quiet and solitude when it comes to energy levels. Though it may seem like your loved one is becoming less interactive or withdrawing from their usual activities, it's often just that they simply do not have the energy they once had. Offering them comfort, warmth, and a peaceful environment can help provide them with the space they need to rest, knowing that you are there to support them. As we go through these signs, it's important to remember that each person is different, and not everyone will experience all of these signs, or in the same way. Some may experience one or two of these symptoms, while others may experience them more strongly. There's no perfect blueprint for how the end of life will unfold. What is most important is the compassion and understanding you offer, as well as the time you spend with your loved one. In the next part of this video, we will look at 3 more subtle signs that can help you better prepare for what's to come, and provide a sense of clarity during a challenging time. Stay tuned to learn more, as we dive deeper into understanding the signs that your loved one may be nearing their final year of life. These signs can help you prepare both emotionally and practically, and ensure that you are able to offer them the best care in their final months. It's not easy to face these realities, but by recognizing these signs early, we can walk alongside them in the most meaningful and loving way possible. As we continue to navigate through the delicate and often challenging experience of caring for a loved one in their final year of life, it's essential to recognize the subtle signs that may signal the nearing of this journey. These signs, though often gentle and not immediately obvious, can help us prepare and provide the kind of support our loved ones need during this time. In this part of the video, we'll explore 2 important signs: increased cognitive confusion or withdrawal, and frequent infections with slow healing. Both of these signs are deeply intertwined with the natural process of aging and the body's gradual decline, and understanding them can offer valuable insight for families who are navigating these emotionally complex moments. Sign 3, which we will explore first, is increased cognitive confusion or withdrawal. Cognitive changes are a common part of the aging process, and they can become more pronounced as a person nears the end of their life. At first, this may manifest as mild forgetfulness or moments where your loved one seems a little out of it. You might notice that they struggle to remember things they once knew easily, like the names of close friends or family members, or they might ask the same question repeatedly. This can be frustrating for both them and you, but it's important to approach this change with patience and understanding. This increased cognitive confusion often stems from several physiological factors. As the body begins to slow down, the brain's functions, too, may diminish. Reduced blood flow, a slowing metabolism, and the overall wear and tear that the body experiences over a lifetime can all contribute to cognitive decline. Additionally, the body may start to prioritize basic functions necessary for survival, like breathing or heartbeat regulation, and as a result, cognitive functions can take a back seat. This can also be exacerbated by certain medical conditions, such as dementia or Alzheimer's, which can make these cognitive lapses more severe. It's not uncommon for individuals nearing the end of life to retreat inward, becoming less communicative or more withdrawn, a natural response to a complex mix of physical and emotional changes. For families, witnessing this shift can be deeply painful. Your loved one, who may have once been so vibrant and engaged, now seems distant or confused. They may seem to check out of conversations or interactions, sometimes even failing to recognize familiar faces or voices. While this can be hard to accept, it's crucial to remember that this behavior is not intentional. It's simply a sign of the body and mind working through the final stages of life. Instead of responding with frustration or sadness, try to focus on the emotional connection you share. Sometimes, the best response is simply to remain present sitting beside them, offering a comforting touch, or speaking gently to them. Even if they can't respond in the same way they once did, the familiarity of your presence can bring them comfort. Another way to support a loved one showing signs of cognitive confusion or withdrawal is by maintaining a calm and structured environment. Keeping routines simple, with familiar activities and comforting surroundings, can reduce confusion and help them feel more secure. Try to minimize stressors or chaotic situations that could overwhelm them. It may also help to offer reassurance with gentle words, even if they don't seem to fully understand. Remember that the emotional connection is still vital at this stage, and they may respond to the warmth in your voice, the touch of your hand, or the familiar sound of your laughter. As hard as it can be to watch a loved one become more withdrawn or confused, it's important to remember that their internal experience may not be as distressing as it is for those of us on the outside. Many people in their final year of life experience a sense of peace and detachment from the physical world around them. It can be comforting to know that, in their own way, they may be coming to terms with the transition, finding solace in their internal world even if they're not able to express it outwardly. Moving on to sign 4, we have frequent infections and slow healing, a sign that becomes more noticeable as the body's ability to fight illness diminishes. As we age, our immune system weakens, making it harder for the body to ward off infections. For individuals nearing the end of life, even minor infections can become more frequent and harder to recover from. These infections may include things like urinary tract infections, pneumonia, or skin infections that might seem minor at first but can cause significant discomfort or complications as the body's healing ability declines. One of the key reasons behind this increased vulnerability to infections is that the immune system, which typically works tirelessly to keep harmful bacteria and viruses at bay, begins to weaken with age and illness. As the body becomes less able to fight these invaders, infections may take hold more easily, and recovery times can be much longer than they would have been in the past. In some cases, the body may even struggle to heal minor wounds or scrapes. What might have once been a quick recovery from a small cut or bruise could now take weeks to heal, leaving your loved one vulnerable to secondary infections. The process of healing itself also slows down. The body's energy reserves, which are already stretched thin due to aging, are now diverted away from the healing process to focus on other vital functions like maintaining breathing, heart function, and temperature regulation. This means that your loved one may experience persistent sores or wounds that seem to linger longer than expected, or they might have recurring fevers or chills that are signs of infections they can't shake. For families dealing with these signs, it's important to approach the situation with a mixture of empathy and practical care. While medical professionals may focus on treating the infections themselves with antibiotics or other medications, your role is to provide comfort and ensure that your loved one is as physically comfortable as possible. Regularly changing their position to prevent bed sores, providing gentle skin care, and making sure they have a clean and dry environment can go a long way in preventing infections from worsening. Additionally, maintaining a calm and reassuring presence is incredibly important. If infections or slow-healing wounds are causing your loved one to feel anxious or uncomfortable, your gentle reassurance can help them feel more at ease. Sometimes, just holding their hand or speaking softly can offer them a sense of relief and security. This is also a time when family members should work closely with healthcare providers to understand the full scope of their loved one's health needs. If infections or wounds are becoming a recurring problem, it's essential to discuss options with the medical team, whether that's in home care or more intensive medical interventions, so that your loved one can receive the best possible care. The difficulty with infections and slow healing is compounded by the emotional toll it can take on both the person experiencing these challenges and the family members who are witnessing it. It's heartbreaking to see someone you love struggle with something as basic as a minor infection, but understanding that these signs are a natural part of the body's decline can help you offer the patience and support your loved one needs. In many cases, offering warmth, maintaining comfort, and allowing them the space to rest can help ease the burden, even if healing doesn't happen as quickly as it once would have. As we reach the end of this segment, I want to remind you that these signs, though difficult to witness, are part of the body's natural journey. By acknowledging them with understanding, offering emotional and physical comfort, and seeking medical advice when needed, you can provide your loved one with the care they need during this challenging time. We have one final sign to cover in the next part of this video, and we encourage you to stay tuned for that. Understanding the subtle signs of a loved one's declining health is so important for making their final months or years more peaceful, comfortable, and filled with love. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to continuing this conversation with you in the next part of our series. As we continue through the emotional landscape of understanding our loved one's health during the final stages of life, we reach the last of the subtle signs: major changes in breathing or circulation. This is often one of the most profound and noticeable changes that can happen as the body prepares for its final transition. Breathing patterns may shift significantly, and this can look like periods of rapid or shallow breathing followed by deep, long pauses. You may notice that the breath becomes irregular, sometimes with more difficulty or effort in breathing. This irregularity is often accompanied by what is known as Cheyne-Stokes respiration, a pattern of breathing that involves a gradual increase in the depth and rate of breathing followed by a decrease and then a pause. It's often a sign that the body is starting to slow down its functions. At the same time, circulation begins to decline, which may show up in the extremities. Hands, feet, and sometimes the nose or lips may begin to take on a bluish or purplish hue, as the body's organs and tissues are no longer receiving the oxygenated blood they need at the same level they once did. As these changes progress, you might notice that the skin becomes cooler to the touch, and in some cases, people may feel less responsive to attempts to rouse them from sleep. It can be difficult to witness, and it can be a stark reminder that our loved ones are nearing the end. But this sign, like the others we've discussed, is an indicator that the body is naturally and gently preparing for its final moments. It's important to remember that this phase is not something that can be reversed or fixed, but it's part of a natural process that all living beings go through. Though it's painful to watch, it's also a beautiful reminder of the fragility of life and the strength that comes with accepting these inevitable changes. Now, as we reflect on all 5 signs, each one a subtle but significant message from the body, it's essential to remember the emotional journey that families experience when they are faced with this reality. There's no clear or easy way to prepare for the loss of someone so important, and yet, these signs can help guide the way. It's easy to feel overwhelmed with fear or resistance as we witness these signs of decline, but ultimately, what we are witnessing is not something to be feared but rather a process to be honored. These signs offer us a unique opportunity to provide comfort, support, and presence to our loved ones during their final moments. In those moments, it's easy to get caught up in trying to fix things or searching for a way to reverse what's happening. But the most important thing we can do is to focus on being present. Our loved ones may not need us to solve anything, but they need us to be there, to offer them comfort and love. In those final days, it's not about fighting against what's happening, it's about surrendering to it and offering a kind of love that is unconditional. That love is the one thing that can make the final year, or even the final moments, feel filled with peace instead of fear. One of the most beautiful gifts we can give during this time is the assurance that we will not leave them alone. That even when their bodies begin to fail, our hearts are still fully with them. Our loved ones might not be able to express it in the same ways they once did, but the connection between us remains. In those quieter moments, when the breathing slows or changes and when the body is no longer as strong as it once was, we are still able to hold their hand, offer a soft touch, or simply sit in silence together, allowing our presence to communicate what words often cannot. There will be hard moments when the emotional toll of this journey becomes overwhelming. The thought of letting go can bring a sense of sadness, grief, and even anger. Yet, when we reflect on these subtle signs and the moments they represent, we realize that each one is a part of the shared experience of life. These are the moments that remind us to cherish what we have, to hold space for both the beautiful and the painful, and to honor the life that has been lived. In many ways, it's a reminder that the end of one chapter is simply the beginning of another. And even though it's impossible to fully prepare ourselves for the emotional toll, there is comfort in knowing that we can offer our loved ones something precious in their final days: our presence. As we wrap up, it's important to reflect on how crucial it is to have conversations with our loved ones while they are still here. Don't let the fear of talking about death prevent you from offering comfort and peace. The more we can be honest about the process, the less fear we will carry, both for ourselves and for our loved ones. Death is a part of life, and the more we learn to sit with it, the more we can offer a life filled with love and compassion for those who are in their final moments. Whether it's just sitting quietly with them, holding their hand, or offering a few words of reassurance, your presence can make all the difference. If this video has resonated with you, or if you found comfort in understanding these subtle signs, I encourage you to leave a comment below. Share your thoughts or any experiences you may have had. And if you think this video could help someone else who might be going through a similar situation, don't hesitate to share it with them. This is a difficult topic to discuss, but it's one that deserves our attention, and we can all learn from each other's experiences. Please also consider subscribing for more content like this, where we explore the important, yet often difficult, aspects of life and death, offering insights, support, and compassion for all who are navigating these journeys. Thank you for watching, and remember to always approach these moments with love and presence, as those are the things that truly matter in the end.